My disgusting stepdad raised me since I was a baby. Now he's begging that I sleep with him because my mom is pregnant and can't satisfy him. My mom had me fresh out of high school and my dad died at 19. My mom got married to my stepdad at 21 and had my 4 sisters. My stepdad was the only father I knew. He has been a great father, always taking care of me and being a good person to talk to. He was a great dad to me up until I turned 19. I remember he became a little more touchy than normal, and invaded my personal space really often. He would offer me wine and ask about my intimacy life after he drank too much. It was definitely weird to me, but I brushed it off as him being nosy and wanting to make sure his daughter wasn't having intimacy. I see how dumb that sounds, but I never pictured my dad to be someone really awful, and I was just making excuses for him so that I wouldn't see him for what he truly was, a pervert. Since I never called him out on it, though I doubt we would stop even if I did, this kind of stuff just continued. He would make comments about my body, saying I was growing in all the right places, touching my thigh, and he even tried to kiss me last year. I told my mom and she was quick to laugh in my face. She excused his actions by saying, that's how he gets after too many drinks. I knew that wasn't normal though, and no dad should try to kiss their daughter. I knew then I had to make plans to leave, so I started saving up. Luckily, things were starting to die down a bit and I realized it was because he was getting busy with my mom. She got pregnant at 39. It's a higher risk pregnancy so she's on a lot of bed rest and taking extra care of herself for her doctor. A couple of weeks ago, my mom and stepdad sat me down and told me her doctor said she should avoid sex during her pregnancy due to various health reasons. I wish I would have stood up and walked away at that point because I'll never forget what she asked me to do. She wanted me to have intimacy with my stepdad until she was able to have intimacy again. I almost threw up. I obviously said no and just started crying on the spot. I couldn't believe my mom would ever want me to do that, and it's worse because I know it wasn't her idea. My stepdad was using my mom's high-risk pregnancy to finally get his way with me. And my mom just handed me to him on a silver platter. She told me to stop crying because she was okay with it and she'd be in the room as well, so I shouldn't worry about it. I told her that's not why I'm crying and she's disgusting for being okay with this. I called her a horrible mom and said I hated her. I'm so grateful I didn't miss any signs because I have enough money for an apartment and I'm signing my lease next week. I can't even begin to think what would have happened if I didn't prepare for something like this. My parents have gone on to ignore me, which is exactly what I need right now. I wouldn't be able to handle another sit down with them and the days are quickly passing by until I get out of this hellhole. Honestly, my main concern is my younger sisters. I'm terrified that if it wasn't me who will sleep with my stepdad, it'll be them. They're all asking me what's going on but my mom told me not to say anything. I don't want to tell them just because that's their actual dad and I have no idea how they would handle the whole thing. But again, there's the concern with this house being full of girls he can just prey on. If I had to tell someone first, it would be an adult, so I called my aunt and told her what happened to me. She barged in just a day later with 3 other people, one of them a social worker friend of hers, and my uncle. My stepdad found out they were at the house and called the police, but before they even showed up, I told my 16-year-old sister and the 14-year-olds what happened. The 16-year-old got angry at her dad. She was walking around the house ranting at her dad and crying. She decided to come with my aunt. And I just to be safe, and we would figure out where she could go from then on. However, the 2 14-year-olds did not believe me, and they actually started laughing. Then, they got angry that I was trying to destroy our family and how could you make up a sick lie. They claimed that because my dad was dead, I was now trying to get rid of their dad, by sending him to jail. I was hurt that they didn't believe me, but still concerned for their safety. They didn't care about what I had to say and it got to the point where they threw my and my 16-year sister's stuff out the window. By the time the cops came, my aunt, uncle, and social worker were told they had to leave the property. The social worker friend let the cops know everything that's been going on, but they didn't care. They were just there about the noise and trespassers. My sister and I left with them. Later, the 14-year-olds came to their senses and called my grandparents to tell them what happened. They actually asked their dad if what I said was true, and he didn't deny anything. In fact, he called me a WHRE and said I should have had any problems doing what he asked. That's when they packed a bag and called my grandparents. My grandparents explained everything to our youngest sister and she told my grandpa she prefers him to our dad because grandpa doesn't yell at her.